अस्सलामुअलैकुम एवरीवन। मेरा नाम है मोहम्मद उमर फारूक एंड आज का हमारा टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन रहने वाला है ओवरकमिंग प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन टॉक विद चैट जीपीटी। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। Tell me, what is overcoming procrastination?
Overcoming procrastination means identifying the reasons you delay tasks and applying practical strategies to move forward, like breaking big tasks into smaller steps, setting clear deadlines, removing distractions, and noticing unhelpful thought patterns like perfectionism or fear of failure. It's a mix of self awareness and consistent small actions, not a single magic trick to build momentum until action feels more natural than avoidance.
Okay, but I didn't understand fully. Can you tell me in details?
Sure. So think of procrastination like a feedback signal. It usually points to something underneath, like fear, overload, or not seeing value in the task. First step, notice when it's happening without beating yourself up. Then ask, what's actually stopping me? Confusion, boredom, perfectionism? Once you know that, choose one tiny concrete action. For example, if a task feels overwhelming, shrink it to a 5-minute starter version. If it feels pointless, tie it back to a goal you care about, even loosely. Each time you do act, you weaken the avoidance loop. Over time, momentum builds, and acting feels more normal than putting things off. And when you slip, treat it as a sign to adjust, not a reason to quit.
The thing I understand is the word procrastination is the same word of overthinking. Am I right?
Not exactly. Procrastination is delaying action, while overthinking is looping in analysis or worry. They do often show up together, though. Like, you might overthink and then procrastinate as a result, but they're not the same thing. You can procrastinate without overthinking much at all, like mindlessly scrolling instead of starting. And you can overthink without putting things off, like endlessly researching instead of deciding. They overlap sometimes, but treating them as distinct helps you tackle the right cause. For overthinking, tools like setting a decision deadline help. For procrastination, tiny starter actions work better.
But still, I still thinking that procrastination and the overthinking is the same. Like you talk about fear and some the terms which are same in procrastination and in overthinking. I want a solid difference which clear my mind that these both terms are different.
Okay, give me a second here. All right, here's a cleaner way to separate them. Overthinking is the mental churn, the endless thinking. Procrastination is the behavior, not doing the task. You can overthink without procrastinating, and you can procrastinate without overthinking much at all. Fear or perfectionism can feed both, but the fix targets the pattern you're actually stuck in. If it's spinning thoughts, slow the thought cycle. If it's dodging the task, design a tiny action you can't reasonably avoid. So, in simple terms, overthinking is stuck in your head. Procrastination is not taking action. They can feed each other, sure, yeah, but they're not identical.
Can you give me one example for the same for procrastination and for overthinking? I still can't understand what is it.
Sure, no worries at all. Let's make it concrete. Imagine you need to send one important email. Overthinking sounds like I rewrite it 10 times in my head, worrying if every sentence sounds perfect. And maybe you never hit send that day. Procrastination is simply you avoiding sending altogether, like switching to email cleanup or scrolling instead, not thinking so much. Overthinking is the mental loop. Procrastination is the no action outcome.
Okay, so the thing I understand about procrastination and overthinking is that I just turn on laptop for my doing tasks, but instead I start playing games like any game, and I spend my 2 to 3 hours and didn't notice that why I was open my laptop. And the overthinking is that I just imagine about that work, but I'm not doing it. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. The game part is procrastination, the not doing, even though the task is in mind. A- And the spinning about the task, imagining it without moving on it, is overthinking. You're totally right about that.
Okay, so the problem I understand. Now tell me about how can I overcome those.
Hmm. 1 minute. Okay. Since you've split them out, you can tackle each separately. For procrastination, shrink the start. Instead of finish the reports, say write one paragraph. Remove friction. Block out games or sites for 30 minutes. For overthinking, set a mental time cap. For example, give yourself 15 minutes to draft that email and send it instead of perfecting it. And honestly, building in tiny routines like 10 focused minutes first thing can break the loop. You don't need motivation first. Action usually brings it.
Okay, so after this explanation, I think there is a problem of like every person. Most of the people in our society are the ones
Hmm.
who goes for something to do and they forget and they was like, oh, I was to do that, I forgot. Like it's happening with everyone. So how can we overcome from this? Like we need mental discipline, or like what thing we need to do that for avoiding procrastination.
Hmm. That's a really thoughtful question. Forgetting can be simple distraction, not always procrastination. Procrastination is more when you delay something you know you should do. Building discipline helps both, yeah, but not like a super strong mind, more like small systems. For example, pick one concrete task before starting. Say, I'll write 3 emails, not I'll work. Remove the obvious temptations first. And when your mind starts to wander, write the stray thought on a note instead of switching tasks. Think of it like steering. You gently nudge yourself back to the plan each time you drift. Over time, that habit gets easier. And if it's not about work, but more about meaning, check if the task connects to something you actually care about.
So we can say that the over procrastination in simply word is a distraction from our work, what we are doing, right?
Mm, kind of, but not always. Distraction is one version. Another is delaying without distraction, like staring at the screen, knowing what to do, but not starting. So, yeah, it's related to distraction, but it's more about delaying action, whatever form that takes.
So delaying action is harmful for everyone, and distraction is also. But What are the difference between them? Like if I know what to do and I am not doing, maybe it's not procrastination, am I right? Like if I'm doing something and when I was going to doing it, I got become distracted by something and I started doing that thing. That thing is procrastination or a distraction.
Hmm. Let's see here. The clean difference distraction is when something pulls your attention away. Procrastination is when the task you meant to do gets delayed. They can happen together, sure, but you can be procrastinating with no distraction at all, just staring, delaying, and you can be distracted without procrastinating, like a random ping steals a minute. From what you described, opening the laptop and getting pulled into a game starts as distraction. If you then keep playing and put off the work, that's when it becomes procrastination.
Okay, so I understand what is it and how to overcome it. That was nice to talk with you. Okay, so bye bye.
Bye.
So that was the discussion between me and the chat GPT. उम्मीद करते हैं आपको ये पसंद आया होगा एंड आपकी अगर दिल में या कुछ भी दिमाग में सवाल आया है तो आप कर सकते हैं। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।